Worry about what your champion wants first. A lot of people, they like to go too fast and attempt to do too much at the start when they're trying to learn. Oftentimes it'll turn into them trying to focus on what their teammates want and or their enemies, instead of focusing on what their particular champion wants first and then working their way through it. This issue is particularly common with junglers, but it also happens with laners too. Many top laners make the mistake of dropping multiple minion waves to follow up on an overly forced gank. Even if they can get the kill in that situation, it's likely still not worth it, because they're having to drop so many minions in order to get that 300 gold. I'm not saying it's not important later on, but take it one step at a time. Try to figure out what kind of spikes your champion has, what part of the map does your champion want to play on if you're playing jungle, or if you're laning, what kind of trades you want to be taking. You want to take short trades, long trades. Really think about that first. Instead of trying to counter them in a very inefficient manner, focus on what your champ wants first. If countering them also works with what your champion generally wants to do, then that's great. However, if you're having to go really out of your way, it's probably not worth it. Try to figure out where this issue is stemming from. It could be from impatience. You feel an urgency to improve faster than you currently are, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but don't rush it too much to the point where you're actually causing more harm than you are doing good when it comes to improving. Try to keep it simple at first. Lack of confidence is another reason. It's better to make a bad call and learn from it than to always follow someone else's decisions. Just because your jungler says they want to do the gank doesn't mean you need to follow them. Really think about it. Is this a good gank? If it is, then of course, follow up on the gank. A temporary band-aid can be used of muting pings, but I really don't advise doing this because, as I said, it's a temporary band-aid. It doesn't actually fix the problem. If anything, it can make it worse. You need to be able to see what your teammates are thinking and actively decide, do I want to do this or do I think it's a bad idea? If it's a bad idea, then you ping them off. If you do have this issue, try your best to avoid overthinking, even if you've had some bad outcomes in the past. The third reason, maybe you heard a high-elo player talk about an advanced champion-specific concept, whether it be on a stream, YouTube, wherever, and you took it a little bit too literally. Just because they have a very, very specific way to counter an invade or some kind of rotation doesn't mean that you need to do it every time. Take it with a grain of salt, work your way up to the point where that would actually be relevant, and then you can start entertaining that once you really know what your champion wants first.